First, I want to start this off, right? Because history nerds have the same problem, right? Oh, that's not cool. Coin collecting, history nerddom, stamp collecting. How did you get into it? Kind of sell me. If some young kid's listening to this and thinking, I want to get into coin collecting, but I don't think anyone's going to think that's cool. What would you say to that kid?
I would say you're very lucky as a young person if you have those role models in your life that help you realize that it doesn't matter whether it's cool or not. You know, there's a beautiful heritage with coin collecting of grandparents, of parents, passing these beautiful, wonderful historic objects onto the younger generation and imbuing them with a sense of wonder and respect for the past and of a discovery of history that comes with these coins. And I was very lucky to have that position myself when my father collected coins when I was young. And he had this cabinet in the house that was an object of fascination for me in the corner that I was not allowed to touch. But every now and then, we delve into it and he would put these objects of fascination, into the palm of my hand. And eventually one day, he decided I was ready to have one of them for myself. And he explained the history and the antiquity of this object to me, but I was a little bit too young to understand the full weight of history behind the object. But that was my entry point, my father really trying to bring history to life for me. I was also lucky in that I grew up in a very historic place in Wales and in the south of England, with lots of castles, with Stonehenge, with the Roman baths in the city of Bath, lots of ruins to explore. So then having this coin placed in my hand, this beautiful handmade object that was contemporary with those ruins, that was 2,000 years old, was made by a Roman, was in the ground and had its discovery and modern journey as well through history. Those things just absolutely grabbed my imagination. But it did take a few years before I had the wherewithal and the interest and the capacity to start building my own collection. But I think for any young person, and the educational power of coins for parents as well, I just think it's unparalleled to be able to place something so ancient, but actually so relatively common as well, into the hand of a young person.
What is the coolest coin that you currently own? I'm going to say coolest. You can define that however you want. I'm not asking most expensive. I don't want somebody to rob you based upon this podcast.
Oh, don't worry. There's not many that are too expensive. I wish there was. I'm not an oil baron. This is one thing that I think is also another incredible aspect of ancient coins, just leading off that first question, is that, I was a school teacher for many years. And even if I say so myself, I've got a pretty respectable collection of coins that I'm very, very proud of. You do not have to be Getty or, a Saudi sheikh to be collecting ancient coins. Ancient coins were minted in the hundreds of millions, if not by the billion. They survive in their millions. They are the most, certainly in Europe, of course, and in Britain and in the Middle East, you probably can't walk, a few feet without knowing that there is an ancient coin under your feet somewhere. They are everywhere, all across the Empire of Rome and beyond. Ancient coins are everywhere, and they'll continue to be discovered in the most surprising ways, probably until the end of time. Of course, everything's gone up in price, but when I started out, you could get lovely coins for 10, 20, the equivalent of $50. You could get a beautiful coin. So these things are accessible.